I'm going to show you our premium community. This is Tradimos premium community. And today we're talking today morning around 3 a.m. my time. Well, 3 a.m. my time. It's about 11 a.m. Central European summertime. And we were talking about gold being in a very important support level, right? And we really want to capitalize on a book. And let's open up this gold chart. Now, gold has been trading down since it topped at around 1323, 1325 on March, at the end of March, trading down. Yes, this side to the downside is where we have been capitalizing on gold. The reason being that we down and we are bullish in the US dollar, we are going to only be trading gold to the downside. And as you can see, the moves to the upside are very what's the word? Are very in a retracement kind of way. The moves to the downside are very clean. But right now we are at a very important level of support. We thicken out this chart. You can see that we went. I mean, we tested this level around the 1269 to 1265 level, which is this entire level right here. Let me just point it out with a square, right? This entire level right here. So between the 1269 and the 1265, we have found some buyers. For example, right here we tried. Sellers tried to move all the way down below 1265 level, and we found and buyers pushed price previous base. Now let me show you or point out the previous base. This is the previous base that I'm talking about. So basically, if we follow this base through the red dotted line, you can see that we have found some resistance here. Now sellers are positioned on previous bases, and of course this is a previous high volume zone, which also give us some short-term bullish targets. So it's only normal that we were going to find sellers here. In fact, at the Tradimo Premium community, we took this trade to the upside, and we closed our position right here. Now again, we went down and tested it again, making kind of a double top, and went down to test this important zone of support. So now gold is trapped in this two zone of a range. Okay. And it's important, or it's very important to notice this before non-farm payrolls, because these MVPs, these jobs numbers, can be the catalyst for a break above the 1286, 1285 level, or a break below the 1269.65 level. Now, how is this going to happen? If we have clean numbers coming out, right? And when I say clean numbers, if we have good uh, job numbers, and an increase in average hourly earnings, and a decrease or a stagnation in unemployment rate, the dollar is going to rally. And if the dollar rallies, well, gold is going to drop. It's as it's gold and the dollar are not perfectly correlated, but when it comes to high impact events and volume taking in or volume coming in to buy or sell the dollar, gold acts accordingly and moves in the opposite direction. So basically, if the dollar rallies because of good numbers, then gold is going to be um, dropping and moving below this area, the 1269, 1265 zone. And if we have bad numbers, which means if we have less than expected jobs added to the economy, and a decrease in earnings or average hourly earnings and an increase on unemployment rate, then the dollar is going to drop, and well, gold is going to rally at least again to test the 1286, 1285 level. And of course, we are going to be finding here short term profit taking from short term longs and again sellers at this previous base. So if now that I have zoomed out, you can see that this is clearly a very important historic in gold. If we look further back in historic price action, you can see that after a huge uh, 410 pip with just let me just with a very strong bearish price action, we found buyers. I mean, this is a very important zone, and if we rally, sorry, if gold rally is going to be very, very, very difficult, and it's going to need a lot of bulls for us to clear all these sell uh, orders. Now, this is my view in gold. If you agree or don't agree, or if you have an input, again, just type it on the chat. I'm more than happy to add your input to my analysis. Now, before this daily edge, I didn't do an in-depth analysis. You can see I only have levels point out in most of the charts. Then that's because I what I like to do is I like to analyze the chart with you guys on real time, rather than having the chart already analyzed and already uh, uh, with all the levels in it. All right. Now the euro US dollar are again interesting zone of rejection here at the 112.45 level. Uh, Interestingly enough, we tested this trend line again for not only the trend line but this area or this previous base. Now I'm going to grab my horizontal tool again and I'm going to show you what I mean. All right, let me just delete this square. So this zone is the zone that we were in our premium community for a sell in the euro versus the US dollar. Now the reason being, just let me just thicken this out. All right, maybe that's too much. All right, so that what we do here is that we look for zones of exhaustion and zones of high or of historic high volume. All right, and when because these zones of historic high volume are magnets for price, and these are the zones that have the highest probability of rejection. So basically what we do is we look at zones where high volume was traded in the past and zones that were rejected, and you can see right here after we broke to the upside was rejected heavily, and then when we broke to the downside was tested heavily before going all the way down to the 111.25 level. Then we went all the way up again to the 112 112.50 area, which is this gray zone right here. And not only we tested it and rejected it, but also we rejected this trend line. So basically on the euro US dollar, those are the two levels that I'm looking at right now. We are in no man's land at the 1151 level. As you can see, I want to take a trade right here. It's just okay, Barat, thank you for pointing that out. I'm going to try uh, to move my mouse uh, not as quickly, so you don't have that refresh issues. So basically, the euro USD is at the no man's land, as I was saying. And again, if we have good numbers or good non-farm payroll numbers or good job numbers in about 10 minutes time, well, the euro US dollar is going to drop. If we have bad numbers, it's going to rally. But again, yeah, it's one. Non-farm payrolls is one of those events that has big swings right before the numbers drop. Okay, so basically, I do think that we are going to drop at least to the 111.21 zone if we are going to rally, and at least and if we are if the euro USD is going to drop, it's going to rally beforehand at least to the 111.95 level. All right, so for the time being, I am not looking at the euro US dollar as a possible non-farm payrolls play unless we see a move to one of these two levels. That's the euro US dollar. Let's have a look at the US dollar Canadian dollar. All right. Now the US dollar Canadian dollar again. Not one. It's not one of my favorite currency pairs to trade, but I do trade it. Not a lot, but I do trade it. All right. And if we weren't on non-farm payrolls Friday, I would definitely take this short setup. All right. Now, as you can see, we have hit a previous base and a zone that has been previously rejected, uh, and where high volume was traded in the past. So, uh, remember, I mean, you have to remember that trading is not about knowing where price is going to go, or I mean, if anyone tells you, you know what, the price of oil is going to be at this level in 3 months, well, that guy is lying to you because no one can know that. This is an auction, and if someone tells you that, they're telling you that they can't see a future auction, and that is just not true. This is a game about probabilities and mathematics, right? All right. Oil will explode. That is one of my I hope that that is one of my partners here at Tradimo that's telling me that. So basically, it's a game about probabilities, and right here, the U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar is at that a short setup below the previous low, around the 134.57 level, has a high probability of going your way. But again, this is something that I would consider if we were not in non-farm payrolls Friday. Because we are in non-farm payrolls Friday, I would definitely not. I would just be looking the reaction, but it's a very interesting level right here. Okay, so basically, the U.S. dollar rallies would be bullish for the U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar, and we could break. I mean, if the U.S. dollar rallies, we could be breaking even above the 135.15 level, which are these highs right here. Now let's have a look at the pound versus the dollar before we go to the news terminal. Before we go to the news terminal and this and the and yeah, before we go to the news terminal to wait for the non-farm payrolls. And if you look at the bottom left chart of my screen, gold is rallying right now. So I'm going to change that into the hourly chart in gold. And I mean, if we break 1273, we would break this tiny range that we have been trading in for the past day or so, and it could signify a rally in gold. But again, this is pre non-farm payrolls, and right now, the dollar will be king in the market. So let's take a look at the GBP versus the US dollar before non-farm payrolls. Now, the pound versus the dollar is, I mean, everything pound. I like to trade. One of my favorite pairs is the pound versus the yen. I love trading the GEPI and the pound versus the dollar also. But lately, the pound versus the dollar has been trading very sketchily. I mean, uh, of course, because of Brexit news, and then when Brexit was pushed until October, the pound started to trade in very narrow ranges. And again, but after we broke with these lows at around the 130.10 130.00 level, and we went all the 128.80 level, we started to trade in a very nice range, right? I mean, a very nice and tradable range. So basically, we bounce off the 30 of the 130.10 level, right? The 130 I'm sorry, 130 130.80 130.90 level, and we are trading down. Right now we are in no man's land on the pound versus the US dollar. And if I were looking to trade this currency pair, I will be looking at the bottom of the range at the 180 level. Yeah, the 128.80 level. So basically, and it's the for me the pound versus the US dollar is not in play for a tradable pattern here in today's non-farm payrolls, just because of the level that is trading at. All right, even if we rally before a drop on a good non-farm payrolls, I mean, it wouldn't be a tradable pattern for me, and I would be just looking at future price action to maybe trade the upper side of the upper side of the range on a breakout and a retest, or maybe the bottom of the range on a bounce. Right. So basically, this is what I'm looking at before FEPs, and uh, we are 4 minutes away from the non-farm payroll, so I'm going to put on my news terminal on my screens, and I'm going to be right back in about 2 minutes for the release of the news. All right, I am back. We are 2 minutes away from the release of the non-farm payrolls, And well, if you are not part of our premium signal community, I am going to leave you right here on the chat a link to get a 1 month trial exclusive for the attendees uh, to the daily edges. Well, to the to my daily shows that it's called the Daily Edge. So we are less than 1 minute away, and let's wait and see what happens. All right, 263,000 versus 196,000 previous at an estimate of 190,000 jobs added to the economy. Excellent, excellent job numbers on the. Have a look at what happened here on the U.S. dollar, where the U.S. dollar is rallying, you guys, as it was expected with good numbers. You can see that the U.S. dollar, Canadian dollar moved all the way up and rejected that zone. The U.S. dollar, Swiss franc is looking to move to our resistance area. The euro the versus the euro the euro versus the U.S. dollar is continuing to drop, and well, is the asset or the currency pair that is dropping the fastest to our zone of support. Let's have a look again. If we have on our news terminal a number on the unemployment rate. Okay, the U.S. average hourly earnings month over month, 0.2% versus 0.1%. The previous of the at a previous of 0.3%. And the unemployment rate, the number was at 3.6% versus a 3.8% and a previous of a 3.8%. So very good unemployment rate, dropping by 0.2%, and the average hourly earnings increasing by 0.2% versus a previous of 0.1%. Of the estimate growth of the U.S. average hourly earnings was 0.3%, but we did beat the previous growth in this data. So let's go back to the charts and let's have a look at the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar is moving up. As you can see here on the top right of my chart, um, this is the US dollar index on June contracts, and it's moving up. Not too much, not too much movement on the other asset classes or on the other currency pairs. I'm sorry. Gold, very weirdly, gold very weirdly dropped to the 1268 zone and found buyers again. Right. So basically, we are having a small rally in the US dollar index. Let's move to the 15-minute chart to see the actual movement in the US dollar. So we did rally on the US dollar until the to top at the 97.84 level, and then we continue to move down. All right, so gold went down, and let's go back. Let's go to a 50-minute chart in gold too. So this is the moving gold, right? We moved from the 1271.90 level all the way down to the 1268.30 level, where we found buyers, and now we are moving up, right? So basically, what I see in gold. Um, let's see what you guys have to say here on the chat. By US dollar. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be from the numbers. Actually, yes, I would be a buyer. But look at the price action, dude. I mean, look at the price action right now. it looks very sketchy to buy the US dollar. If you look at the US dollar index, I mean, we did rally, but it was a very short-term rally, and then we dropped to the previous level of resistance. Again, this might sound weird, but this might be just retracement, because the first level was just pure momo, right? And this might be a retracement from to a previous base to buy the US dollar. But yeah, it looks like a huge rejection in US dollar. That's what I'm looking at right now. And for example, if gold breaks with the 1273 level, is going to be rallying again. And look at if you look at the US dollar, Canadian dollar, I mean, just look at that rejection to our level on the US dollar. I mean, if this is in fact a huge rejection in the US dollar, I would love a sell on the US dollar, Canadian dollar right here below the 134.56 level, actually below the 134.54 level. And as you can see, the US dollar is really going down. No, that's right. I mean, that's you are correct. I am not a news trader either. I am not a news trader either. But if you look at the US dollar right now, it's been about 5 minutes, 5 minutes after the news, and the US dollar is just looking so bearish. And that spike is looking to be just a fake out, right? A fake out. I mean, why? The question here from Ting's Law. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Is why the U.S. dollar is strong for a short while and become weak again? Well, the reason for this is news trading. I mean, really, news trading is just algorithm based, right? I mean, we are not fast enough to trade a non-farm payrolls. That and when people try to trade non-farm payrolls, look at the US. I'm sorry. Well, they front run it, which we don't do here at Tradimo. But this is just an algo battle, like what it was said on the chat. And let's go back again to the news terminal, and let's have a look at what the news terminal. The U.S. interest rate futures at losses as U.S. payrolls rise more than forecast in April. Jobless falls over 49-year low. Now, this is why, yeah, gold hit, and this is the reason that news trading can be very can be very profitable, and again can be very dangerous, because if I mean look at the good U.S. non-farm payroll. I mean, job numbers. We added 263,000 jobs versus 196 thousand added on the previous month, and an estimate of 190,000 jobs added. The unemployment rate went down. The U.S. average hourly earnings month over month went up. Yeah, good numbers overall, but the U.S. dollar crashes. Now let's go back again to the charts, and let's see what's going on. Now the U.S. dollar spiked up, and then now it's really on a bearish move. Look at gold. Gold broke with our level, and it's just moving up. This looks like a huge gold rally today, and well, it actually feel if one of you guys is from our premium channel, you already know that we got filled on this long position in gold, right? So let's wait and see for a few minutes. Now we are 8 minutes away. I mean, the non-farm payrolls hit the wires 8 minutes ago. Let's wait for a minute or two to see what happens. Now we also had some news coming out of Canada that we did not look at, and let's look for them. Right? Um, I think I don't know if we had some news from Canada actually. I don't think so. Or, no, Canadian low at 134.92 to the US dollar after US jobs data. Now, then this is why it's also very important to have a news terminal or get your news on a real time basis um, because currency trading is all about global macro and if you don't get oh my god, just look at the dollar. The dollar now, look at the euro versus the US dollar. I mean, I'm going to finish my thought afterwards, but if you look at the US dollar is crashing, and the euro, look at the euro versus the US dollar. It almost hit our buy zone for at 11 at the 111.25. It didn't hit our buy zone for, I mean, only 7 pips, and it went straight up. Now the US dollar Swiss franc bounced from our sales zone, and the US dollar Canadian dollar also bounced from our sell. Now gold is rallying from our buy zone. Yeah, that's basically what we offer here at um, the premium signals community in Tradimo. So let's have a bigger look at the US dollar. I mean, look at this rejection. A rally up to the 97.84 level, and now we are crashing. I mean, we are crashing. We have erased the gains from the past. I don't know, 15 candles. This is the 15-minute candle, and we are on our way to break some very important levels right here. Now, let me just get rid of this trend line, and let's have a look at the levels that we are looking at. All right. Now, this is the base, or this is the previous low that we are looking for. Right. If we break below, we are truly in bearish mode in the US dollar. Um, and we can actually find some buyers here. But for the time being, the US dollar is crashing and gold is truly, truly, truly rallying. I mean, just look at that candle, guys. We are banking with our long trading gold. And again, if you are not a premium member, uh, I invite you to take the trial. I'm going to leave you again on the chat the um, the 1 month trial link. You will get a 1 month trial access. No, don't buy gold now because I mean the trade is gone, um, and you will be chasing, and the risk versus the reward on that trade is not that attractive. Okay, and I mean if yeah, because if you try to buy gold right now, you will be reacting to what the market is showing you instead of acting to certain levels, right? Basically, you need to plan your trade and trade your plan. And if you just react and try to chase that move, at the end you're going to lose money. What you are trying to trade is the right side of the market. So, but I invite you to join us on a 1 month trial, man. On our premium signals. I mean, we don't trade a lot because I personally don't believe in trading in trading a lot. Right? I believe in patience, and I believe in important levels. I believe in and I believe in um, mid to long term moves. Okay, now that's what I believe. That's how I trade, and I mean, I have found that that is profitable for me. To capitalize on big moves, high risk. I mean, I'm sorry, low risk and high reward scenarios. Hello, Jose González. ¿Hablas español? Porque yo también hablo español. Yeah, we do provide string trade signals. All of our signals are. Yeah, I don't day trade, Jose. I really don't. But okay, I don't speak Portuguese. Yeah, I don't day trade. I mean, I really don't day trade. For example, this gold or long trade that we have right now. Our first target is all the way up here. Now, what's going on with this chart, man? All right. Why is it like that? I don't know. It's the 1 hour chart. All right. So basically, for example, Jose, this is our gold position. I'm sorry, our long position in gold. Our first target is going to be all the way up here, right? Taking half of our position here, the 1286, 1285 level, right? And we are all. I mean, it's obvious that we are going to get a little bit of a retracement if we break above it. Now, when we take half off, we are going to put our stops at break even. um we are going to put our stops at break even, and I mean, yes, we are going to be buying dips in gold, but only if we break with this level, because I'm not going to be buying dips in the range. That's not how I do it. Now, I bought gold I mean, and we bought gold right here at the bounds of this very important zone of support. And we are going to take half of our position at the next big zone, because we don't know if we're going to break above. It doesn't matter how strong the move is. We don't know if we are going to swipe all these sell orders. So we are going to be taking half of our position off. But again, we are not going to take all of our position off, because if we break above, we want to continue to ride the trade all the way to the next zone that I haven't figured out which one is it. But if we break above, we are definitely going to be buying this dip and adding to our long position. And that's how I trade. That's how we trade at trading, right? Um, and that is how I trade. For example, I didn't take this US dollar Canadian dollar short position because we already had exposure in the US dollar by buying gold. And that would mean having double exposure in the US dollar, because it's non-farm payroll Friday. We chose to trade gold for this MVP. And of course, this is a very, very good short setup, but we are not going to take it because we already have exposure in one asset to the US dollar. All right. You have any question, guys? And again, if you are not part of our premium community, you already have the link for a 1 month trial. Um, you're getting analysis. You can, I mean, you get direct access to me, and of course, you get our trade ideas and signals, and our other coaches, Matthias, who trade futures and are very good at trading futures. Also, you will also have access to their signals. So it's a full deal to forex, futures, stocks, and commodities with that link with a 1 month trial. When you come back from holiday, we will be waiting for you. And I mean, I hope you take it, because we do profit from we do profit, and our trading style seems to be appropriate to yours, right? I mean, we don't day trade. We hate day trading. We hate scalping. We don't rush into trades. I mean, we um, we really analyze the markets and wait for the right levels to be tested, and only take 1 to 2 or higher risk to reward scenario. So yeah, this was non-farm payrolls, guys. Now we are rallying in the US dollar. Uh, a little bit very mixed sentiment, very mixed sentiment on the US dollar. Right now, really, my our goal position, uh, our goal position. Um, well, this bearish move on the US dollar was a catalyst for our gold position, or for the bullish moving gold. And now I think gold has found buyers and has found a bottom. And we the probability that we are on our way to hit our first target is very strong. Yeah, I mean, Jose, I understand what you're saying, and that's why we offer what we offer. Okay, I know that not everybody can do this full time. I can do it, and I do it. Um, so you can maintain your day job, but still profit from trading and learn while you still have a job. Because I mean, and even if your idea or your long-term goals is not to become a full-time trader, right? You can still have a second passive income through our signals, and that's the main idea here. uh, I mean, whether you want just to become I mean, whether you want to really become a full-time trader, just have a second uh, passive income, this is the way to do it, right? And again, I mean, you are not I mean, like me, we often miss some opportunities in the market. I mean, you could ask any of our premium members that sometimes we wake up to uh, to a huge rally in gold, for example, or a huge rally in the pound yen, that we can't trade anymore because we missed the move. But we don't rush things. We have patience and self control, because there's always another opportunity. That's the idea. That's the account while you work. Oof, yeah. I mean, the subscription pay itself. Remember that you have a 1 month trial. Uh, you have a 1 month trial, and in that month you can capitalize for when that offer ends, and you have to pay the monthly fee, and the monthly fee is just $49. So yeah, I mean, you have in a month you are going to make $49, so the subscription will eventually pay itself. Yeah, though. All right, Jose, it's fine. It's fine. We'll be waiting for you on the inside when you come back. And yeah, if we want to get notified of these of my daily shows, just go to let me remind me. I think, yeah, this is the right here. This is where you can subscribe to my newsletter, and you will get a reminder every day when I go live. All right, guys. So this was our non-farm payroll day show. I hope you found it educative and educational. I'm sorry. English is not my first language. Educational, and I mean, again, if you want to take the 1 month trial, you're more than welcome to take it. And if you want to be reminded of when I go live every day, subscribe to my newsletter on that page. All right. All right, Barat. Uh, Very nice words, and I thank you for them. Again, you're more than welcome to take our 1 month trial, and of course subscribe to our newsletter. Guys, was a pleasure, and I'll see you all on Monday. Goodbye.